Hello, and welcome to the CIN podcast. I'm Connor.
I'm Casey.
And today we're going to be talking about The Godfather, another fucking classic mob movie.
Yep.
All right. Early review. What's your rating?
So I really thought I was going to come to this movie. This movie has been put on best movie of all time lists constantly. I think I had too high of an expectation of this movie. I'd give this movie, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad movie. I'd give it like an 8.
Wow.
I don't think this movie was as good as I thought it was going to be. But I think I also came in with way too high of expectations.
Well, I'm excited to hear what you're going to say about it. I really liked it. I'm just a big fan of Francis Ford Coppola, the director. Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan.
What other movies has he done?
Apocalypse Now, which is my favorite movie ever.
I don't know what that is.
It's a really awesome movie. It's based on a book called The Heart of Darkness, which I read in high school. So that also kind of is one of the reasons why. It's kind of based on it. It has the same story, but they change a lot of elements, including even where the movie is taking place and kind of what it's all about. But
it's basically not the same thing.
It's basically not, but it kind of is.
Okay.
Anyway, he made that movie. He recently made a movie called Megalopolis.
Didn't that movie do terrible?
It did.
Yeah.
And I'm really upset about it.
Did you like it?
I never watched it.
You never watched it. Okay. I remember we talked about watching it and doing it on the podcast, and then we never did.
Oh, I thought it would be like an interesting one to do, but because it was so conflicted in ratings, it was like literally a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. People loved it or hated it, and that is the case with the movie. But I don't know. I didn't know.
How old is this guy? This movie came out in the 70s.
This guy's old.
Yeah. I just realized. Damn.
Yeah. This guy, dude, Francis Ford Coppola is a fucking G. He also made The Outsiders, and he made Bram Stoker's Dracula. And he made a lot of really classic movies.
I've never seen any of these.
Well, Bram Stoker's Dracula is a really interesting one. But I mean, he made a lot of really classic movies. And actually, he didn't make the second Godfather or the third Godfather. They're
really?
all made by different directors.
The second one is supposed to be the best one, I believe, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
It's either this.
It's either the first or the second, and the third is terrible, from my understanding.
I think that one might have been made by one of Coppola's family members.
Oh, the second one or the third?
The third one.
Oh.
And it's just bad.
Yeah, apparently it's really, really bad. I haven't seen the second or the third. I've only seen the first.
Yeah, I haven't watched the second yet either. I want to because
I'd be down to watch it and then revisit The Godfather and then do another episode on it. I think it'd be fun.
Oh, okay, we could maybe do that. Yeah. I still haven't even given my review of the movie.
No, let's hear it.
Dude, I want to give it a fucking 10, but
give it a 10 then. I've given plenty of movies 10s.
I know. I don't know if I ever have directly, except no, I did Dune Part 2. I gave it 10.
And Scooby, of course.
Yeah, I did do that. I will give it a 10. I'm not gonna lie. I just really enjoy Francis Ford Coppola.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good movie. Like I said, I think it's a really, really good movie. I think I went in with too high of expectations.
Yeah.
I expected it to be slow, but fuck is this movie slow.
Yeah, but that is this director's kind of style. Like, I was totally expecting that. Mm-hmm. We had different expectations for different reasons. Like you knew it was going to be slow, but I knew how slow it was going to be.
I didn't expect it to be as slow as it was.
Apocalypse Now is also very long, and I've seen the Redux cut, which is 3 hours and 15 minutes long. Mm-hmm. So I was totally strapped in for this movie to be long as shit. But like his movies always feel like such journeys. Like so many fucking things happen in The Godfather.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like I mean, just going from just starting from the beginning. So just really quick, give me a really quick synopsis of the movie.
So I actually watched it twice, so I'm really well equipped to do this.
Okay.
It starts out with a bunch of conversations that Vito Corleone is having with people that are approaching him on his daughter's wedding day.
Mm-hmm. All the famous lines.
Yes.
You approach me on my daughter's wedding, or whatever the fuck. I said that terribly, by the way. I did not have the correct accent. I think I kind of went Russian. Continue.
Yeah, so he's approached by multiple people on his daughter's wedding day, and it really kind of just this scene kind of just tries to characterize the family. And it actually, I don't know if you realize, but the wedding scene goes on for 30 minutes.
Oh, I know. We complained
it.
about it the whole time. We were like, how the fuck is this movie still going? And it's still the wedding.
I loved how long the wedding scene went on for, honestly. Because I just like seeing the Vito in action.
Yeah, because he doesn't last very long.
Yeah, I was so not expecting that.
Same. I
Because-
thought he was the main character.
I did too. Everybody talks about Don Corleone, and he dies.
He dies.
Well,
He literally dies in the movie.
yeah, he dies. Yeah, it
He
does
gets
take
shot.
him a while to die. Like I thought he was gonna die when he got shot. I was happy he was still alive because I wanted to get more lines out of him.
And then he didn't even show up that much whenever he survived.
Yeah, because I love the actor.
Yeah, he's a good actor. He did a really, really good job.
He's
Who's
also
the
Apocalypse Now.
actual main character's name? I'm forgetting. He did
Michael?
Scarface as well.
Oh, the Al Pacino.
Al Pacino. He does an excellent job. I gotta say.
Absolutely.
Al
Yeah.
Pacino's a good actor.
So yeah, I love the way that they introduce Mikey. That's like
Mhm.
one of my favorite things about the whole movie. You know, he's got like his whole like Sicilian family, even like his adopted son that's like his consigliere is, you know, dressed like an Italian even though he's, you know, he's not even
He's
part
not
of the
Italian
family.
at all.
I don't think he's part I don't think he's
I don't think he's Italian at all. But he's
Yeah.
like basically
Yeah.
become a part of the family. That's why he's the consigliere.
And then you have Michael, who's like dressed in American war garb, and he's a
Yep.
war hero. He basically denied his culture entirely, and
He does not want to be a part of the
He
mafia.
wants to be totally American. And then, you know, it sets up like why he's the next Godfather so well from the very opening scene. It's like shows what sets him apart. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
He has a different perspective from everyone else, which is
Yeah.
kind of what kind of brings him in and like makes it to where he's such a good Godfather.
the movie, like what I loved about the movie is that you don't realize that Michael is going to be the Don.
I would agree
at
with
the
that.
beginning.
You really don't. I feel like I kind of knew because I'd seen the poster for the second one.
Right, and you know that's
Yeah,
Al Pacino.
and so I kind of knew, and obviously, yeah, it was Al Pacino. So I knew he was going to stay in the movie, but I didn't know how he was going to become it.
Yeah.
And I think they did a really, really good job doing it.
Yeah,
It didn't
that's-
feel like forced either.
Yeah.
It felt like really natural him doing it.
And it was really cool. Like, you know, whenever Vito gets shot, I was supposed to be giving a plot synopsis. I forgot, but now we're
okay.
just talking about the movie, and it's honestly fine. Once Vito gets shot, you know, the movie does seem like a little bit aimless and directionless for a second because you're like, okay, well, wait, that was the Godfather. Like now who's going to step in? And then
We keep calling him the Godfather. It's just I feel like
he's the Don, but
he's the Don because the Godfather
Don
is
Corleone.
the old guy. I'm forgetting his name.
but he is the Godfather to a lot of people.
Yeah, but it's the Don.
Who, yeah. So
Well, actually, technically speaking, okay, hold on. Just to make sure I understand everyone's name. Who's the Godfather? The actual, like, the person you see at the very beginning, the boss.
Vito.
That's Vito, okay.
And
Who's
then-
the guy who becomes the boss for, like, acting boss while he's in the hospital?
Well, I mean, Michael steps into the role at the very end. Are you talking about the family
The
lawyer?
second guy.
Are you talking about the blonde guy, the
No.
family lawyer?
No, it's the guy that is constantly has a wife beater on
Oh,
and gets shot in the middle of the movie.
oh,
What's his
the
name?
hot-headed son.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
Okay, we're going to call him Hothead.
Yeah.
So we have Michael. No, not Michael. Fuck, what's the... You just
Vito.
told me. Vito.
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah.
And Hothead.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sorry. I just want to make sure I have all these people's names because I haven't watched this movie in a little bit.
That was the one that beat up. The hot-headed one was the one that beat up the sister or
The
that got
sister's
married.
boyfriend. And they got killed because he went to go rescue the sister and it was all a trap.
Yeah, he got set up. Yeah. So, dude, honestly, whenever fuck, just lost it again. I don't know. Oh, I forgot to take my ADHD quiz.
Oh, shit!
That's hilarious.
Guys, let's pause.
That's
We
so
gotta come
funny,
back.
actually.
Cut.
That's actually hilarious that I forgot to. That's hilarious that
Kinda
I forgot
proves.
to take it. You know what's funny? We actually had like a 10, 12-minute conversation after that episode where I just rambled the entire time.
Okay, I think it might be confirmed he has ADHD.
Yeah, so, but anyway. That's hysterical. Anyway, yeah, so... Shit, I totally forgot where I was going with whatever I was talking about. It's just totally
We're
left.
talking about the hothead, how he beat up the
Yeah.
guy and protected the sister.
Oh,
He
yeah,
died.
when I first watched this movie, I didn't realize how much time was passing. They don't really make that very evident to you. There's a lot of things that Francis Ford Coppola does in his movies where it's like, it didn't really even dawn on me that there had been like several months in between what was going on in the movie for whatever reason.
Well, because so after he shoots the one guy in the place,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
Michael goes
Salasso,
off,
yeah.
and then that's like I think they said that was like a year. Right?
Yeah, it was like
that was a year in between that. So
Yeah.
everything that happened in between that was 1 year.
In particular, I did not realize that like it had been several months or years since the sister had gotten married at the beginning of the movie. So when she started getting beat by her new husband, I was like, damn, bro, it's been like 3 days and he's already
been
beaten her ass.
It hasn't even been
This
that
is
long.
wild. This guy is like a, I mean, Yeah, certified wife beater supreme.
You know what's insane to me?
What?
The balls on that guy to beat
I
the
know.
mafia's
What the fuck
wife.
are you thinking?
Well, you're not even in the family? Are
I
you
know.
fucking stupid?
I know, that guy's an idiot.
Honestly, he had to have known he was going to die.
Dude, what did you think of the death of... Holy shit, what is her name? She had a real foreign name.
I don't even remember
It was
woman
the
dying.
Italian woman. Whenever Michael shot Salazzo and the corrupt cop in the cafe, they sent him off to Italy.
Oh, when the car blew up?
The car.
Yes.
When they killed
I didn't expect
Apollonia.
that. I was
actually so sad when they killed Apollonia. I was like, damn.
So I didn't know she was gonna die.
Yeah.
But as soon as she said she was gonna drive, I was like instantaneously. I was like, she's gonna die.
Yeah,
she's blowing up.
Yeah, I mean I guess that kind of happened because they had that big wedding. I guess that was kind of what attracted.
I bet you it
attention.
probably was a little bit of the wedding, and he's just been there for a while, so they probably just found him eventually.
Yeah. That was fucked up. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was really cool. I watched a video that talked about like the directing of this movie, and I thought it was I mean, I never realized it during the movie, but it does make Michael's character seem so cold. I mean, when she dies, they don't even like cut back to his face. Mm-hmm. It's just the car blows up and you just see him go like this, and then he's back in the
And then he immediately goes to his old girlfriend.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't tell her at all.
It makes him, it characterizes him as being so cold and like disconnected from the world after,
everything that's happened, and he killed that person and everything like that, yeah.
It was awesome. I loved that.
Honestly, it was really cool.
That's one of my favorite directorial decisions in that entire movie is not showing him like crying over Apollonia dying or something like that, or like characterizing him as even being sad once he gets to Italy, like getting away from his girl and
yeah, he doesn't seem to really care. And
nothing really
like
seems to faze him.
No, he's very just stone faced. I don't give a shit about literally anything.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, he did go to war, so maybe that might be a little bit of it.
Yeah, that probably hardened him a good bit. Yeah.
That might be one of the reasons he's such a good boss, because he kind of doesn't give a shit about it. You have a joke in your mind. I can see it.
The time for that has passed.
Okay. I can see him just fidgeting. He's like, I need to tell this joke.
I wanted to so bad, but the world will just never know. Unless it comes back up in the episode, which I might make it. But anyway. What was your favorite scene in the movie? Because holy shit, I know I have an answer.
This movie. I have the same thing with the This movie was very tense in a very different way than Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Goodfellas was very chaotic. This movie was just very tense.
It was very methodical.
It was very methodical
happened,
and very tense.
Yeah, because of the way that things are revealed by the camera. It's like things are kind of like, or the way that they position people in rooms. I've noticed was also really important.
Oh yeah.
Like the way that people would be, like the body language of the characters was very important. And I thought showed really good acting prowess from everybody in the movie.
I think the right before scene, whenever they're talking about how they're going to kill the one guy, the corrupt cop and the other guy, and then the actual scene that they do that in, I think is my favorite scene. I think that whole thing is so really tense awesome. And really, really well shot. Yeah. It does feel like a little bit probably. It feels like it takes a little bit, but at the same time, it does feel like it's earned. Like, it doesn't feel like it's too slow. It feels like it's perfect.
Yeah, that's something that it's like a big, character-defining moment in the movie for Michael because he wanted so little to do with the family, and then he was just like totally sucked into it because he felt kind of wronged by the world. And so it did make sense that they would want to like actually gear up for their first move without Vito's decision being like the figurehead. I thought it was really cool, like the way that they had Michael sitting down in that scene where everybody else is like scrambling around, pacing back and forth, and he's just like.
And he's just like,
I'm gonna kill them both.
I know I'm gonna kill him, 100%.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a ride or die like that. I'm gonna kill them both. Oh, sorry. Squirrel. ADHD.
You just looked over and I was like, the fuck are you looking at?
Anyway, I think I know my favorite scene was the fucking horse head scene.
Oh, I didn't expect it to happen so early.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah. Because that scene I think the first hour of this movie is the most referenced part. Everything past that is not nearly as referenced.
Yeah.
But like you have the daughter thing, you have like the wedding daughter, you have the horse head scene, then you have the Look How They Massacred My Boy, which is pretty far into the movie to be fair. And then they also have the Don't Ask Me About My Work. That's a pretty referenced scene.
Yeah.
I would say those like 4 points are really, really referenced.
With the exception of the last one, every single one of those scenes was totally driven by Vito. That's why people reference the first half of the movie so much, is because like, why I can't fucking think of any actor's name today.
Brock?
It's the he played, Kurtz in Apocalypse Now, and he's like one of my favorite actors, but I just can't think of his name.
What did he do?
Vito. He was Vito.
That's the big boss, right?
He was the guy with the yeah.
Brando Manson? Brando?
Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando.
That's the one.
Good job, Brock.
I love Marlon Brando as an actor, and
he's the guy with the tooth, the
jowls, the big ass jowls. Yeah, I don't know how he developed.
It's tissue paper.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
you
just tissue. Well, I've heard it like 30 million times.
Interesting.
How the fuck have you not heard that?
I don't know.
That's insane to me. You feel like you know everything about movies. That's like saying you don't know that Aragorn kicked the helmet and broke his foot.
I need to know that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know everything about movies. I just know very specific things about very specific movies.
I guess. I don't know. I feel like I'm surprised you didn't know that.
It kind of gives you this it kind of gives you this persona of having like a really vast knowledge of movies, when in reality you know very little about a movie.
99%.
You know how to tell the story a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it's all an act. I don't know shit about movies.
I'm a dumbass.
But yeah, for me, best scene was definitely the horse head scene. I mean, dude, the way that scene was shot was so brilliant, dude. The way that like he rolls over and then you see the first splash of blood and you're like, oh, what's going on? Did they shoot him in his sleep or something? And then you're like, oh wait, there was that fucking horse, and then the horse head.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
So there's rumors too. So and I don't know if this has ever been confirmed. It depends on who you where you look. Mm-hmm. So it either was a mold of a horse's head, or they actually got a horse head from a butcher.
There's no way.
It's possible. So and I don't actually know if they've ever confirmed it.
I'm going with a mold.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was a mold, but it did look pretty fucking realistic.
Yeah,
I could see it being a butcher.
It is pretty unsettling.
It is.
Also, the way that Vito died. What the hell? Why? Man, they clapped him so easy.
What? Whenever he went to the guard station and then the border patrol thing, or whatever. No. It was.
Like when Marlon Brando's character, he just like he
just has a heart attack. I'm sorry, I got the characters mixed up.
No, not that. When he got shot. That when he died. But like when they shot him, when they capped his ass 5 times, he was trying to buy some fruit.
Yeah, it feels bad.
Oh yeah, it feels bad.
The
but
bodyguard
like
was a snitch, so he knew who it was going to be.
Yeah. How do they do him in that easy, man? It felt like you could really see that his grip was loosening and that he didn't want the fights to be going on anymore.
Mm-hmm. He was trying to keep the peace so heavily.
Yeah. And
then he said no, and then it was just like, you're fucked.
Also, the scene when Michael becomes the Godfather at the very end of the movie and like just kills all of the people that were at that round table meeting that the father tried to make peace with. That was like a really haunting scene.
It's a cool scene. They did a really good job on that.
Gave me chills all the way through, and like especially whenever they're like, "And do you renounce the devil or whatever?" And he was like, "Yes." And then it's just shows everyone fucking dying. Yeah. So badass. I love Francis Ford Coppola. I actually love his wine too.
He has a wine?
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like most people do.
So he actually owns a vineyard, and for a long time he's been out of the movie making business. And he's just been selling his wine, which
I assume makes probably pretty good money.
Yeah, so that's actually Megalopolis, which was a movie that he wanted to make a long time ago, but he didn't get to because it was too ambitious and no production studio would pick it up, and so he decided to entirely fund the movie with his vineyard.
Wow.
So that entire movie was paid for by his wine.
And then he lost all of it.
Yeah, because the movie was not good.
It was not very good.
That's what they've been
That always sucks. You want to hear an interesting fact about this movie that I've heard?
Yeah.
So apparently whenever they were making it, obviously the Mafia was still pretty big in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
So the Mafia actually helped make this movie.
Oh.
And they were had a really, really big hand in making it. That's why the Mafia seems so dignified. Yeah. And everything like that, because they were trying to make almost like a PR thing.
Yeah, they made it less of like a organized crime kind of thing, and with Vito in particular, they really loved to emphasize his political influence. Mm-hmm. I thought that was badass. I mean, could you imagine being that powerful with that much political influence?
Oh yeah, 100%.
This guy can make anything happen. And the way that I love whenever he was approached with people asking him to do things for him on the daughter's wedding. The way that he would deal with the problems if he actually wanted them solved was so wild. He'd just be like, well, let's just have some lobbyists destroy Congress and just, do some crazy shit, and they're just okay, we'll have it done.
Yeah,
it's all in a political way, and that was really cool to me.
That whole movie, honestly, this movie is pretty good. I gotta say.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you gave it an 8. Just
I don't
too
know.
slow?
It was really slow, and it felt like there was a lot of. I know I said some of it. So a lot of it felt very like they needed those scenes.
Yeah.
But there were some scenes where it felt like they could have taken them out. There was a lot of really long establishing shots too, which kind of annoyed me. I was like, why are we establishing this for 5 minutes? Like,
Yeah.
I understand we're in Hollywood. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the wedding scene, to me, felt like that fucker dragged on so fucking long.
I don't think that's an entirely uncommon opinion, but I'm just a meat writer for the director. I just thought it was awesome. I love that he takes his time with like literally everything. And I don't even like long movies. Like I've talked shit about long movies on here so many times because I like a good hour and a half movie. That's my favorite runtime for a movie.
I like a good 2-hour movie.
Yeah, I just think that like a lot of the times when I'm watching a 2-hour movie, I'm thinking this movie could have been made a 90-minute movie. And when I'm watching a 90-minute movie, I'm thinking this movie could have been 2 hours, but I like that it was 90 minutes because they didn't need to be 2 hours.
To me, the issue with an hour and a half is that it feels sometimes too rushed. I think 2 hours is the perfect middle. It's where you can add a little bit more character growth because it feels like every hour and a half, not every, there's some exceptions. Like Reservoir Dogs is, I think, is an hour and a half. It was a shorter movie that I did not expect to be so short.
Yeah.
But then that felt like a really nice 90 minutes.
Right.
But I think most movies feel really rushed whenever it's an hour and a half.
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, like a 90-minute movie by a good director is totally a different thing than a 90-minute movie by a bad director.
Well, a 3-hour movie by a bad director can be completely different than a good 3-hour movie.
Well, absolutely. But like, I mean, that's a good question. So, okay, another 3-hour movie, my friend said is just like The Godfather, but he says it's better.
Oh, wow.
The Irishman. Have you seen The Irishman?
I have seen The Irishman. The Irishman is really good.
Do you think it's better?
Personally, I think The Godfather's better.
But
in saying that, I do think The Irishman is a very, very good movie that I'd love to talk about. It's a cool movie.
Is it a little bit more action-packed?
A little bit. It has Robert De Niro. He's a hitman.
Yeah.
And they de-age him in it, too. He's young, and they have him like all weird de-aged and shit. It looks weird, in my opinion. Yeah. I think they didn't do a terrible job. It's better than some of the stuff they do whenever they de-age shit, but it looked pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't have a problem with the movie being like, I mean, this movie is really methodical, and it's like very conversation driven. But I love movies like that, so I don't know.
It's a good movie though. I loved all the hits. Like they would like, or like it was kind of like foreshadowing. So at the one of the times they walk into the big complex and you see a car on the left and they talk about it. They're like, oh, what is that? Oh, house fire or like a car fire or something like that. But then later in the movie, whenever they kill the sister's husband, they do the same thing. And then it's like, oh shit, that's what that was. That was them killing someone and then burning the car. Like it's a little bit of foreshadowing. And I think that was like, there's certain things like that I will say was really, really cool. Yeah. They do a really good job of that. It's never like, doesn't feel like it ever comes out of nowhere. It always feels like there's a little bit of foreshadowing beforehand. Pretty cool.
To relate this to another movie, and I don't think this is necessarily, I think this is just like a trope of like 2-part movies. But I also think it's really interesting the way that this movie leaves us with the character Michael, where it's like he really hasn't like fully.
Continue. Sorry.
It definitely feels like he's not. Did you fuck it up again? This guy could be in the mafia.
I would have been shot immediately for messing up the rug. Fuck. My bad, guys.
Wow.
Continue.
Oh, I've lost it. No, I'm just kidding. That would be really on topic if I did, or really on
brand.
It would be at the pattern.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I actually did lose it. Wow.
My bad.
Well, a lot of 2-part movies I feel like might kind of do this. So this is more of just like a trait of their movies, but I feel like this movie leaves the Michael character in a very similar place that of all movies, another movie we've talked about, Dune Part 2, leaves Paul. I feel like they're in very similar scenarios. I don't know why I thought about that. They're both like right at the beginning of realizing their potential and their power.
That's probably true.
And they're both like they both seem a little bit power trippy right at the end of the movie.
Very power trippy.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Yeah, he's very power trippy. He's moving to Las Vegas. I really want to watch the second one because I think the Vegas, because that's like right at the beginning of Vegas. So it'd be right where Mafia hasn't taken it over yet, but it's like in the process of basically owning everything there. Be really interesting I'd actually be super down to watch that. I want to watch the movie Casino too. That's a Mafia movie based in Las Vegas as well. That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard of that movie.
I don't think I have.
It's supposed to be really, really,
Joe
really good.
Pesci and Robert De Niro.
Oh,
Very good.
very on brand
also?
for us too.
Shit, yeah, I'd be super down to watch that movie.
It's so cool. Like, I mean, all of these. I feel like these mafia movies. I mean, these are like two of the pinnacle mob and mafia movies
Absolutely.
that we just
I
watched.
think Casino, Goodfellas, and Godfather are probably like the top three.
Yeah.
Most people would be like mafia movies. Those are your three.
It's so funny how many actors they share amongst.
Joe Pesci, I think, is a really, really, really big one.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro feels like he's not even Irish, but he's in like so many mafia movies.
Yeah. Well, it's just how things go.
Yeah, apparently.
No, yeah. Godfather. I don't even know. It might even crack my like top 10 favorite movies.
Damn.
And I almost don't want to do that only because Apocalypse Now is already my favorite movie, and that's another movie by the same director.
Doesn't Robert De Niro play Vito in a flashback in Godfather?
There's no way
In the second
Robert De
one?
Niro is in this movie.
And the second one.
Oh, in the second one, maybe. Okay. When did the second one come out?
I don't know.
Well, you have a phone.
Bruh.
Damn.
I guess we'll find out.
We're about to find out.
I'm gonna
from
guess
our
1970.
This one came out in 72.
7.
You think 77?
Yep, that's my guess.
I'm going to go 78.
Okay. Well,
Godfather Part 2 came out in 1974.
Wow, only 2 years.
I was
That
closer.
surprises me that it came out so fast.
Yeah, that's actually kind of insane because I know that The Godfather 2 is long as fuck too.
I assume it's probably also a 3-hour movie.
Robert De Niro does play Vito in flashbacks.
Nice.
Cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, good to know. Yeah, it's kind of weird how all of the 3 movies are handled by different directors.
Mm-hmm. I assume that. I wonder how much of a difference it has on the actual like movie.
Certainly a really big one.
Well, you would think.
I mean, the first 2 directors that direct them are good, and the
Who's the
third
second?
one.
Do you know who the second director is?
No.
Brock, you had.
Oh
your
my
phone.
gosh.
Sorry, I know I keep calling over to you.
I know that he's a good director though.
God, we need to get this screen working. Fuck, I
And
would
then
love to have that.
The third one is apparently just bad. It's like I don't even know if I want to watch all 3. I might just.
I'd be
watch
okay with
2.
just watching 2. I'm okay with not watching the third.
I'm a
if you
big
don't.
fan of the concept of letting something die whenever
It's
like
good.
a good enough point to end it on.
See,
And
the issue
hopefully-
is we're gonna watch the second one. It's
It's
meant
gonna end
and
on
on
a
a
cliffhanger.
massive cliffhanger. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that'd be unfortunate, but I guess we'll find out.
What did you think of the cinematography of this film?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the cinematography of this movie. Like that's what I was talking about with. I mean, that's my favorite scene in this movie, being the horsehead scene, is made by the cinematography of this movie. They're very careful with like what they reveal to the camera and how they reveal it, and it's really cool. It's very methodical. Like I keep saying, so everything in the movie seems to be very like. It always seems very well fit and planned.
What are you laughing about?
It was the same director for all 3 films.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Francis Ford Coppola.
He directed all 3. I thought.
Damn, Connor has been
just been
spreading
wrong.
misinformation this whole fucking time.
I've just been wrong. I've actually believed that myself too this entire time. Like I swear I looked it up, but I just was wrong.
Okay, so apparently he made one good film,
No, he
one
made 2.
amazing film,
Yeah,
and then one
bad.
shitty film.
Yeah,
Kind of like, and then I bet you he probably copied Megalopolis and Godfather 3,
yeah.
put them together and went, this is the worst film I've ever made.
Yeah,
Good job,
Well.
man. Proud of you.
they made some good ones too. They can't all be bangers.
Well, they can. But they haven't.
Who has an all banger?
Who's the guy who made Interstellar and Tenet?
Christopher
What's-
Nolan.
Him.
You think he has?
I think he has all bangers. Name one bad movie from Christopher Nolan.
I can't name a bad one.
Exactly, because he's a fantastic
But
fucking
the closest
director.
thing to it would probably be Tenet.
Really? You love Tenet.
I know. That's
What
means
then
a
what?
lot. I'm saying the closest thing he has to a bad
Yeah.
movie is Tenet.
Tenet, in my opinion, is really strong. I think, and I will say, Interstellar, I think, is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Love Interstellar. Tenet, I thought, was really strong. I'm never a fan of time travel, but I do think that he did a really, really good job on that movie.
Yeah.
What other movies does Christopher Nolan have?
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight, which is one of the... I've seen the first one, which is really strong.
Batman Begins.
Yeah, and then the other two I haven't seen.
You haven't seen Dark Knight? What the fuck?
You get on me every single time I bring this up. And every time I say I'm going to watch them, and I never do.
I mean, I've seen damn near all the Nolan movies, and I mean, like, I wasn't dogging on Tenet. I'm just saying it is the closest thing he has to a bad movie. I think it is his worst movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have a reason?
It just doesn't. It seems like it's too ambitious, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's what the case is with The Godfather Part 3, but I would never know because I'm not going to watch
Because
it.
we're never going to watch that film
I mean,
until we run out of ideas for movies.
there's nothing I hate more than a bad, long movie.
Yes. Oh my god.
We were talking
yes.
about movie runtimes. I love a good short movie. I love a good long movie. I just hate a bad long movie.
Yeah, a bad
is-
short movie, at least you're going to be done in 90 minutes.
At least you can laugh about it, or
Yeah.
you can at least try to, or you can just get on your phone for the whole fucking 90 minutes.
Yeah.
But if you're on your phone for 180 minutes,
That's so
that starts to
fucking
get a little
long.
bit doomer. You start to think, man, this director is making me want to kill myself. That's whenever you get
That's
into that
when
stage.
CEO killings happen.
Yeah, that is when you start, getting into the current Marvel situation. This is when everything really gets
The
to
healthcare
shit.
people, like, fuck.
Yeah. What's the worst 3-hour movie you've seen?
Worst 3-hour. I haven't watched that many 3-hour movies, to be honest. I don't know if I have a bad 3-hour movie I've seen.
Yeah,
that I can think
actually,
of
you
off
know
the
what?
top.
Now that I think about it, me neither.
There's not that many 3-hour movies.
There definitely are, though. Wait, no, I've seen a bad 3-hour movie.
The only ones I can think of off top is Godfather and Endgame. I don't know how many 3-hour movies I've seen, though. Like, Lord of the Rings is 3 hours, but I love all of the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah, we should get around to talking to Lord of the Rings at some point.
Holy shit, I'd be so fucking down. I love Lord
I haven't
of the
seen
Rings.
those movies in forever.
I've watched those movies so many times.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
We're actually at time. I didn't even realize. We've just been rambling for like
shit.
10 minutes about not
It's okay.
Godfather. And Godfather's like one of my
I
favorite
love how
movies,
both
too.
of these episodes, I think we didn't talk about the movies that much.
It was a really big yap set for
It
these
was.
2 episodes.
It's okay,
but
we haven't
honestly-
seen each other in a while, so it's fun.
Yeah, it is. And we haven't seen these movies in a while, too.
That's true.
Either. I'd probably have more to talk about The Godfather if I had watched it last night or something. But I played Marvel Rivals with Casey all night last night. So,
Which we recommend, by the way, if you guys, I'm sure most of you have, but
yeah,
it's pretty fun.
yeah,
Recommend.
pretty amazing game. Anyway, The Godfather is a pretty amazing movie.
I think I'm going to actually move it up to a 9 as well.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a 10. I don't think it's a 10 for me, but I do think it's a 9.
Maybe The Godfather 2 is.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that one can bring me back.
So yeah, Godfather is a pretty amazing movie, a pretty amazing trilogy, except for the last one. I can't believe that Francis Ford Coppola made all of them. Kind of hurt me. Hurt my pride knowing that I was just wrong. There's
But,
so many things that you could probably fact check me on in these, and I'm actually just wrong.
I'm just going to say
bet.
citation needed on everything.
I bet I've been wrong about a lot of the things I've talked
okay.
about movies.
That's one of the best things about podcasts is that, you know what, if they care enough, they can look it up. And if they don't, then they can just believe a lie.
And if the clip gets popular enough, it can just be taken as the truth. I'm sure there's so
True.
many like big popular things that I found from podcasts that are just total lies. But then again, I don't watch podcasts, so I'm definitely
You watch
talking out of my
clips.
ass. Yeah, no, I watch what I watch what TikTok shows me.
Exactly. Same.
Anyway,
All right. That's been the Cinematics Podcast.
and I've been Connor.
I've been Casey. And go watch the news. Fuck,
See,
I threw
last
that
time
to you.
I fucked it up. I didn't want to fuck it up
I threw
again.
it to you. That's why I started. You were
And I,
supposed to
and
say
I passed
go
it
watch.
right back to you.
You were
just with
supposed
a
to
singular
say
look.
go watch the
Just
news.
with a singular
yeah, I know,
look, I
can tell.
passed it right back
I
to
knew
you.
you were just gonna say
Go
that.
watch the news.
Goodbye.
That was the best way to end a podcast.
You just